A 1-year-old sits on the living room floor. She spots a dog through the window, lifts one finger and points. Then she turns to check that her mother is looking too. She doesn't want the dog. She just wants the two of them to see it together. It looks like nothing, a small noise made with a hand. But that gesture is one of the rarest acts in the entire animal kingdom, and it is the real reason your species, and not any other, runs this planet. You have been told the answer is your brain, that what lifts humans above every other creature is raw processing power, intelligence, language, the ability to build tools and plans and machines. You have been told the gap between you and a chimpanzee is a gap of horsepower, and that the human engine simply runs hotter. The truth is far stranger. What separates you from every animal on Earth is not how much your brain can do. It is that single, silent gesture a baby makes before she can speak a word. And to see why, you have to watch what happens when a creature far stronger and, in some ways, far cleverer than that baby is handed the exact same moment and fails at it completely. There is an experiment where a chimpanzee, smart enough to use tools, remember faces, and outwit a rival, goes suddenly and totally blind. What could an animal that clever possibly be unable to see? Hold that question. Because what it cannot see is the whole secret. Start with the gesture itself. Because there are two kinds, and the difference between them is everything. The first kind is a demand. A baby points at a cookie on the counter. The meaning is simple. Give me that. Get it for me. Scientists call this imperative pointing. And at its heart, it is a way of using another person as a tool. You are the arm that reaches the thing she cannot. The second kind is something else entirely. A baby points at a dog and looks back at you, wanting nothing, asking for nothing, only so that you will look where she looks and feel what she feels. Scientists call this declarative pointing. Decoded, it simply means pointing for the joy of sharing a thing with another mind. Not get me that, just look at this with me. A chimpanzee can do the first. It will almost never do the second, and for a long time, no one was sure why. This is the life's work of Michael Tomasello, who spent decades at the Max Planck Institute studying this exact line between apes and humans. In one study, he and a colleague raised young chimpanzees around people. They surrounded them with humans pointing all day long. Then they showed them the kinds of surprising, delightful events that make a human baby point on pure reflex. The baby points to share the surprise. The chimps watched for hour after hour, did almost nothing at all. Not because they could not lift a finger, because the urge to share an experience, just to share it, was simply not in them. Now here is where it gets genuinely strange. Picture a simple game. A treat is hidden under one of two cups. A person points clearly at the correct cup, helping, showing the chimp exactly where the food is. Surely any clever animal follows the finger. The chimpanzees barely beat a coin flip. A gesture a human 1-year-old reads in an instant. A grown chimp stares straight through. But change one small thing. Instead of helpfully pointing, the person reaches for the correct cup, greedily, as if to snatch the treat first. Suddenly, the chimp understands at once. It races to that cup. Hare and Tomasello showed this directly. The very same animal that cannot grasp, I am helping you, grasps, I am competing with you, without a moment's pause. Sit with that because it quietly destroys everything you assume about intelligence. The barrier is not brain power. The chimp can read your mind. It can model what you want, predict your next move, and beat you to it. What it cannot do is imagine that your outstretched hand might be there to help. It lives in a world of rivals and tools. The one thing it cannot picture is a partner. And that, at last, is what the baby has that the chimp does not. Tomasello gave it a name: shared intentionality. It sounds like jargon, so strip it bare. It is the ability and the deep hunger to share a goal with another person, to form a we. To look at the same thing and know in that very moment that the other person knows you are looking at it together. What is that really but the foundation of every conversation you have ever had? Humans do it constantly, compulsively. You are doing a version of it right now with these words. The pointing finger of a baby is only the first time it becomes visible from the outside. Watch closely and you can see the smaller signs of it too. A baby does not just point, she follows your eyes. When you look at something, she looks there too, then back at your face, checking, sharing. Scientists call this joint attention. Two minds, locked onto one thing, each aware of the other. No other animal builds its whole life around it, the way a human child does from its very first year. And the sharing runs deeper than simply showing off. The researcher Ulf Liskowski found that infants barely a year old will point to help you, to inform you, to tell a grown adult where a lost object has rolled away and ask for nothing at all in return. A creature still too young to speak is already running the most cooperative software on Earth. But why? Why did your species alone fall into this strange new way of seeing each other? Tomasello's answer is survival. Your ancestors could not make it alone. Bringing down a large animal, defending a camp through the night, raising a child too helpless to cling on its own. None of it could be done by one. It took many hands moving toward a single goal, and over countless generations, that pressure shaped a mind that could lock onto a shared target, hold it, and trust that the mind beside it was holding the same one. Cooperation did not come after intelligence. In your lineage, cooperation built it. And once you could share attention, language finally had somewhere to live. Think about how a baby learns her very first word. She points at the dog. You say, dog. The word lands and sticks, only because the two of you were already looking at the same thing. The shared focus comes first. The word is just a sound hung upon it. Strip the shared attention away and language has nothing to cling to. A word, in the end, is only pointing with sound. A way to point at a dog when there is no dog in the room. The finger had to come before the word. It always did. So the chimpanzee was never short on intelligence. It was missing one assumption. The assumption that another mind is something to share the world with, rather than a rival to outwit or a tool to use. With one finger, the human baby steps out of a world made only of me and into a world made of us. And almost nothing in the long history of life has ever taken that step. Almost nothing. Here is the twist. For decades, the textbook line was absolute. No ape ever. Point simply to share. And then, in 2022, in the Kabale forest of Uganda, researchers filmed something they had waited thousands of hours to perhaps never see. A wild chimpanzee, an adult female named Fiona, lifted a leaf and showed it to her mother, Sutherland. Not to beg, not to trade, seemingly just to say, in the only way she had, "Look at this." One moment, after thousands of hours of watching, the scientists chose their words with care. The line between your species and theirs, they suggested, might not be a wall after all. It might be a sliver, a difference not of kind, but of degree. And that should not shrink the gap in your mind. It should make it stranger. Because a chimpanzee may share a thing once, in a forest, in a flicker, in a whole lifetime of being watched. A human 1-year-old does it before breakfast, and again at the window, and again at the dog, and again, all day, every day, without ever being taught. Your species took the rarest flicker in nature and turned it into the air you breathe. And then you built everything on top of it. Look around the room you are sitting in. Almost every object in it is a pointed finger scaled up. Money works because every person around you looks at the same printed paper and agrees, together, that it means something. A map is a shared act of attention, frozen on a page, a meeting, a memo, a meme, a flag, a headline, a wedding ring. Each one is that same baby gesture wearing a disguise. Look at this. See it. With me. Whole nations are built from it. A country is millions of strangers who have never met, all agreeing to point their attention at the same invisible idea and treat it as real. A courtroom, a religion, a currency, a constitution. None of them exist the way a rock exists. They exist because human minds, in their millions, agree to attend to them together. Take away shared attention, and every one of them dissolves into nothing. The internet is simply the largest machine for shared attention ever built. Billions of minds pointing at the same thing in the same instant. Your group chat is a campfire of pointed fingers. Every time something goes viral, that is your species doing, at planetary scale, exactly what a 1-year-old does at a window. You can even feel the old wiring fire in your own body. Stand in a crowd and point up at the sky, at nothing, and watch how many heads turn to follow. And when a stranger points, can you truly stop yourself from looking? That pull is older than every language on Earth. It is the reflex of a creature built for us, and it has not loosened its grip in 100,000 years. You know now that it was never a baby asking for a dog. It was a human being doing the one thing that built the entire world, saying without a single word, "Look at this, with me." That is the gesture no other animal will make. And that is the real reason your species, and not theirs, runs this planet.